For nearly 20 years, everyone in the quiet town of Redbrook believed Samuel Dorian was the perfect husband. He owned one of the largest construction companies in the county, donated generously to churches, sponsored youth football teams, and never missed a community event. He was charming, wealthy, and respected. His wife, Evelyn, stood beside him at every public gathering with a smile that convinced everyone their marriage was as perfect as it looked. Behind the gates of their luxurious home, however, lived a man whose secrets were slowly destroying everyone around him. Samuel had become obsessed with power, believing money allowed him to control the people closest to him. Over the years, he repeatedly betrayed his wife by pursuing inappropriate relationships with several live-in housekeepers who worked for the family. Each time rumors surfaced, Samuel used money, intimidation, or generous severance packages to silence them before the stories reached the public. Employees came and went so often that neighbors barely noticed, and anyone who questioned the constant turnover was told the staff had simply found better opportunities elsewhere. The betrayals did not end there. As years passed, Samuel crossed boundaries that shattered his family. He manipulated and deceived members of Evelyn's own family, secretly beginning inappropriate relationships with two of her adult sisters at different times. He carefully kept the affairs hidden, convincing each woman that no one else knew the truth. Family gatherings became painful performances filled with forced smiles, hidden guilt, and silent fear that everything would eventually collapse. Unknown to Samuel, every lie left behind another piece of evidence. Evelyn noticed changes long before anyone else did. Conversations stopped whenever she entered a room. Her sisters avoided eye contact during holidays. Former housekeepers refused to return her phone calls. Credit card statements showed unexplained gifts, luxury hotel reservations, and expensive jewelry she had never received. At first, she convinced herself there had to be another explanation. She loved the man she had married and wanted desperately to believe the rumors were nothing more than jealousy from outsiders. Everything changed on her 50th birthday. While searching for decorations in Samuel's private office, Evelyn discovered a locked cabinet hidden behind a bookshelf. Inside were photographs, handwritten letters, hotel receipts, and carefully organized journals documenting years of deception. The evidence revealed a pattern she could no longer deny. Samuel had spent decades manipulating everyone closest to him, including the very family that had welcomed him with open arms. The discovery shattered the image of the man she thought she knew. Friends later recalled that Evelyn became unusually quiet after that day. She withdrew from social events, stopped attending charity dinners, and rarely spoke during family gatherings. Samuel assumed she would never confront him because she depended on his wealth and reputation. Instead, she began quietly collecting copies of financial records, messages, and photographs, creating a timeline of everything she had uncovered. Weeks later, Samuel announced another extravagant family celebration at the estate, inviting relatives, business partners, and longtime friends. It was meant to reinforce the image of a happy, successful family. Throughout the evening, guests noticed tension between the couple, but neither raised their voice. Shortly after the celebration ended, Samuel was found dead in his private study. The house showed no signs of forced entry. Nothing valuable had been stolen. Security cameras covering the outside of the property recorded no suspicious visitors. Detectives quickly realized the killer had almost certainly been someone already inside the home. The investigation exposed years of betrayal. Former employees admitted they had left because of Samuel's behavior. Financial records revealed large confidential settlements. Evelyn's sisters confessed they had been manipulated and had hidden the truth out of shame and fear of destroying the family. Every new revelation painted Samuel as a man who had lived two completely different lives. At first, detectives suspected several people. Former employees had reasons to seek revenge. Business rivals had financial motives. Even members of Evelyn's family became persons of interest. The case grew into a national obsession as television networks covered every development, calling it the House of Secrets. The breakthrough came when forensic specialists examined a crystal glass found in Samuel's study. A nearly invisible fingerprint matched Evelyn's, placing her in the room moments before his death. Faced with the evidence, she admitted she had confronted Samuel that night after years of silence. The confrontation ended with Samuel dead. During the trial, Prosecutors argued that Evelyn had carefully planned the killing after uncovering decades of betrayal. Her defense insisted she had reached a breaking point after enduring years of manipulation and emotional abuse. The courtroom heard testimony from former employees, relatives, investigators, and psychologists, each revealing another layer of Samuel's hidden life. The verdict divided the country. Some viewed Evelyn as a calculating murderer who had taken justice into her own hands. Others saw her as someone driven beyond endurance by years of deception and humiliation. Newspapers debated the case for months, while documentaries questioned whether the tragedy could have been prevented if the truth had surfaced much earlier. The Grand Dorian estate was eventually abandoned. Its gates rusted shut, windows gathered dust, and weeds swallowed the once perfect gardens. Yet people still slowed down as they passed the property, remembering the family that appeared to have everything. They remember how admiration turned into horror almost overnight, proving that the darkest secrets are often hidden behind the brightest smiles.